Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
Well, how about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 233 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and for those of you listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thank you so much for making How About That Cigar a part of your regular audio podcast rotation. So grateful to have you guys with us. As always, join us in the comments. Let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you're drinking. And thanks for being with us live on Facebook guys. And YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all of the places.
All of those places.
And as you can see on the screen right now, click on all the buttons. All the buttons.
Subscribe. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it.
It's honestly crazy how that like button helps.
It does.
It helps a ton. So click on it. Just do it. Do it.
Let's get the third person of the tripod in here right away. Let's not waste around any time here.
The third. The third person of the tripod? That's
the tripod has three legs. He's the third leg.
Yeah, that's awkward.
You're thinking of a midget.
No,
with being his tripod.
Justin's busy lighting his cigar.
Whoa! No midget talk on the show. I told you about this, Raul, ahead of time.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, you should be.
They're called little people.
You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed.
So I just have to say this, guys. You guys sure look dapper.
I know, right? I know. This is from my own closet.
I didn't even button. Oh yeah. I thought I had it unbuttoned still. I was like, yeah, there you go. We're good to go. We're good.
No, we're actually. We could tell the truth about it, right?
No, we can't.
Oh,
so
okay.
We look dapper today because we have Ian today. But before we bring him on, we gotta pay the bills.
Well, yeah. We got to pay bills, but we also have to talk about what
it wasn't a big event yesterday or anything, was there?
What transpired this weekend?
The Swifty Bowl. It was a Swifty Bowl yesterday.
It was the Swifty Bowl, and it was honestly, as football games go, it was a lot of fun to watch.
It was. I thought it was a good game.
Second time in history that the Super Bowl went to overtime.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a really competitive game. I thought it was fun to watch.
And I don't think that we need to talk about Brock Purdy being just a game manager. I thought he did a wonderful job.
I agree.
I thought the coach lost the game for them.
I think there were some things he could have done differently in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
I think you need to hand
Christian McCaffrey.
You need to give him the ball more.
Give him the ball more. I agree.
Pound that defense.
Yeah.
Wear him down.
Yeah, there were some goal line calls where it just didn't make sense to me why they were trying passing plays. You got Christian McCaffrey there. He's already scored a touchdown for you in the game. Just give it to him. Just keep giving it to him. I agree with you.
I think you outcoached yourself there. You thought a bit too much. It was simple.
It's possible. Yeah. But honestly, insanely great defense through the first three quarters. And, so exciting to see it go to overtime. And I didn't watch, during the actual game yesterday, I didn't watch the halftime show. I watched the replay of the halftime show on YouTube this morning. I thought it was all right. I didn't love it, but I thought it was okay. His Usher and Alicia Keys and
Lil Jon,
Lil Jon and Ludacris, and I thought it was all right. It wasn't my favorite. Prince is still the best halftime show of all time.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the halftime show.
Yeah.
We people of Minneapolis. Oh, never mind. I was busy doing my job.
You were busy doing your job.
So we paused it, and when we came back, we kind of watched it all. We missed the commercials. We missed the halftime just to catch up to the fourth quarter. And luckily enough, we didn't have any runs in the fourth quarter. We got to watch that through in the overtime game.
Yeah.
But
the Wild are playing right now, I think Las Vegas. I think they're playing in Las Vegas.
Are they losing already?
I don't know. If anybody knows the score of the Wild game, throw it in the comments for us. Timberwolves are, they're still holding their own. I think. I mean, we're dead set for a playoff spot. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
For either first or tied for first in the division. But otherwise, I'm just kind of looking forward to baseball getting started. It's actually pitchers and catchers report real soon.
That's crazy.
I know. I love it.
Crazy.
I love it. I wish I could make it down this year for a spring training game. I went to spring training once, and took my youngest son, and what an absolute blast seeing a spring training game in Fort Myers for the Twins. It was a blast, but this year's just not going to be able to happen. So
yeah, thanks for letting us know.
They start at 9. Oh, thanks, Corey.
So what are you smoking and drinking?
I'm not smoking anything yet because we'll do that later on the toast camp.
Jumping all around
I know.
For some reason, I'm so over-focused right now.
Over-focused.
Well, I'm smoking this beautiful. Let's see if I can get that in there.
Oh yeah.
Holy Smokes by Dapper. An exclusive that he made with Holy Smoke Podcast.
Yeah.
I think it's phenomenal. It's my second favorite cigar from them.
Oh, right on. Right on. Well, when we get him on, we'll find out what your first favorite is.
Oh, he knows.
He does know.
He knows.
He does know.
So what are we doing next? Let's
well, I think it's definitely time that we get our special guest of the evening on the show. And as you guys know, on How About That Cigar Live, special guests are always brought to us by our friends at Drew Estate. And the latest Freestyle Live event packs are here. Each pack has an MSRP of only $40 and contains 3 mystery premium cigars, a sleek Freestyle Live torch lighter, cigar cutter, and a Freestyle Live leather strap keychain. In addition to these premium items, each event pack includes a Freestyle Live badge equipped with a unique QR code that allows purchasers to enter a sweepstakes for a chance to win extraordinary prizes. The grand prize is a luxury custom pool table valued at $11,500, a laptop valued at $4,600, plus 10 lucky entrants will win a custom Subculture Studios ashtray valued at $150 each. The big reveal of the Freestyle Live mystery cigar will be a live event on March 14th. For more information, please visit drewestate.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, help us out if you would, please. Put your hands together. Welcome back to the show. This time on episode 233 from Dapper Cigar Company, Ian Reith. Brother, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Such a lovely, lovely evening. And Raul really did have a good idea. I scoffed at it at first, but Raul's like, we're having Ian on. We got to be dapper. So we got Dapper for the show tonight.
I love it.
All dappered up for you, brother.
Yeah.
I didn't get the memo. I appreciate the effort, though. I should have done a little bit more on my part.
No, it's we were talking before we went live. I'm pretty sure this is I haven't worn a tie. I'm wearing one now. This is the first time I've worn a tie, I think, since 2018 or 19.
Yeah, I'm going like door-to-door sales back in like 2005 or 6 in North Carolina, Cary, North Carolina, something like that.
Nice.
Well, the last time I had one is PCA
last year.
Yeah.
Well, you got to look the part at PCA.
Yeah.
Ian, what are you smoking and drinking with us this evening?
I'm smoking a new blend that we're working on, and
Nice.
Hadn't smoked it before, and a smaller gauge, and drinking my usual kettle vodka and a soda.
Very nice.
Cheers.
Well, I think it is time for actually, before I get my cigar fired up, we have a
new segment.
We have a new segment. So we've been doing this segment for a while, but it's finally landed on its feet. And we have now newly dubbed this segment Spirit of Mystery. So
Spirit of Mystery.
And say that with an echo. Mystery. So Raul brings in a mystery spirit. This is Scotch month. So the only thing I know that this is a Scotch. So without revealing what it is to me, Raul, just give us the basic details about this.
Some of the tasting notes will be apple peel, honey, vanilla, walnuts, not my nuts, walnuts, smokiness, and let's go with a little bit of citrus and floral. It is a 15-year-old Scotch, and that's all I'm telling you.
I definitely, so the aromas, just about everything you listed, I definitely get on the aromas. I get some of that on the palate too, but I get some. I also get like walnuts.
Do you want me to put the graphic on the screen?
I think let's do that, because this segment is brought to us by a brand new sponsor, Postania Cigars. Do you find yourself unsatisfied with the top 10 list from How About That Cigar? Are you wondering how cigars from Postania didn't make the HBTC list, but found their way onto other lists? Yeah, weird, right? Fortunately, you can be reminded every week with this Postania Cigars advertisement. Postania Cigars, the #1 unranked cigar in the industry. So that is Spirit of Mystery, brought to us by Postania Cigars. We will reveal later in the show exactly what this spirit is.
So he kept this from us.
Yeah.
So he could read it live and we can get our reaction.
Yeah. This is basically
That's so fucking
Mike from
Mike.
This is basically Mike from Postania Cigars that wrote it. I put a few quick little edits on it, but it's basically him. It's just
jabs in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got to get a cigar fired up, and we got
you got big booty somewhere?
I do. Yeah. Let's get a cigar fired up.
We're gonna get this cigar fired up.
All right.
So while he's doing that,
yeah. What are you drinking tonight, Ian? You told us what were you drinking?
he is drinking
Vodka Kettle One?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Kettle One.
I like that you're drinking vodka and everybody else is drinking bourbons or scotches.
With our usual 1919, and also have the Holy Smokes.
And for all you Minnesota fans of Dapper, you can find Holy Smokes at only one shop, and it is Ramsey Smoke Shop.
Ramsey Smoke Shop.
Mr.
That's right.
Omar.
Omar is the Dapper connection in Minnesota.
And he will,
Most definitely.
before you start that,
Oh, yeah.
he will have 2 new boxes of Holy Smokes in there by Friday. Right, Ian?
That's right. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Nice.
We sent them out today.
Thank you.
They'll be there Wednesday.
I love it. I love it. All right. I'm going to get my cigar. Also smoking the Holy Smoke. Oh, yeah. It wants to focus on my eyeballs. I'll get it on the other camera. I'm firing up the Holy Smoke from Dapper Cigars on the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust
It's important to be patient, pay close attention to detail, and focus on the tobacco. In the same way, Steve Saka brings those same qualities to the ultra-premium cigars of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Patience, close attention, and focus on the tobacco are the qualities that Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust have become known for. From Sober Mesa to Umbagog, Dunbarton has a blend that will fit your palate, your mood, and any occasion. Visit DunbartonCigars.com to learn more.
So, some podcasts, some shows,
I like the way this is starting.
they are very scripted. We just go with the flow.
We're a little scripted.
Kind of like you, Ian, just smooth, cool, laid back cats. That's what we are.
Well, plus we're adding new stuff tonight, so it's like, you got to work out the kinks when you add new stuff.
Yeah.
So Ian, obviously, thanks for being on the show again. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We were curious if you were at the TPE trade show just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I was. I wasn't there all 3 days, but I was there for 2 days.
Okay.
And I was a little hungover, so I was probably there actually for a day and a half.
Okay.
First morning was a little rough, but yeah, I was there.
Nice.
Well, how'd it go? Ups, highs, and lows of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody expected it to be pretty slow. I think with the PCA changing its date to March, I think there's a lot of folks that were, if you're just going to go to one trade show, you're probably going to go to PCA for cigars. So we've been going to it for a while now for TPE, and it's not as costly of a show for us to attend as PCA. So usually it pencils out. This year was kind of one of those years where we weren't very sure about going. But it actually ended up working out in the end, and we'll probably be there next year as well. Next year being in PCA is going to be in New Orleans, so people in the West Coast will probably, the thought is that maybe they'll go to TPE instead of New Orleans if it's too far of a travel. So
yeah,
it was okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we've heard mixed reports from people, some people from either media or, brands like yourself exhibiting at the TP trade show, just because you just never know what's going to happen when they put these trade shows within, 6 weeks or whatever of each other. That's tricky, man, because it's, you got to have people to staff your booth. You got to have, you got to pay for travel again. And, I know the booth, those pavilion spaces at TPE are like crazy, super affordable. So that I'm sure that helps a lot.
Yeah, that's what makes the show appealing, is that it is very affordable. You don't have to deal with, if you don't have those booths, you don't have to deal with, setup fees and all that kind of stuff. It makes it much more approachable. So yeah, that's for us. I imagine if you spend a lot of money for a booth at TPE for a cigar company, it may be that might hurt a little bit more depending on your sales. But yeah, for us, anybody in those pavilion booths, they make a lot of sense financially.
Who came down with you for TPE?
Alex was there the first day, and then I traded off with him, and we worked I worked the booth on Thursday and Friday. It was fun to get to connect with. It's good because not only do we connect with the retailers or potential retailers, we also, see a lot of the brokers that you don't get to see throughout the year. So it's there's some benefit to touching base with people and connecting with all the salespeople that we don't get to see as often, or that we just speak to on the phone. So there's some benefit to it outside of the retailer sales.
Okay.
But Alex is more than just a broker for you, isn't he?
Yeah, he kind of double duties. I try to redirect all of our new customers, and he kind of plays pinch hitter on the national sales manager role, because we're not all that big to have a dedicated person that is just our national sales manager. So he helps out in all the elements of sales and whatnot. Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about the cigar we're smoking right now, the Holy Smoke. That being kind of a fun collaboration sort of project. Tell us how that project came to be, and how the blending and all that stuff worked out.
Yeah, that's it's a local Bible study group that actually started here in Fresno, amongst a lot of the cigar smokers in Fresno, California. And the whole group started around this idea of kind of creating a men's fellowship, and centering around cigars, in the sense that cigars were an easy reason for these guys to get together. And the length of the cigar is kind of the length of their weekly meetings, and it's turned into more than just a Fresno thing. They have chapters all over the country now, and even though it is biblically themed and oriented that way, it's more of a men's fellowship, an opportunity for guys to get together and talk about all those things in their life that they could use the help of other people with with obviously the undertones of the Bible and religion. And so it started with us. They reached out to me to make a cigar, to make their first cigar that they wanted to release everyone as both, a way to get new chapters on board, but also something they can be proud of. And so it took us a couple of years to probably 3 years, maybe from start to finish, to actually go through all the processes of both blending the cigar and creating the bands, and doing the printables and seeing how it's going to look. And it was a pretty long time, and quite an endeavor. It's probably one of the nicest packaging things I think that we've done. The boxes are beautiful. They're these piano finished boxes. The printables, Dan designed our designer Dan Greta designed all the bands, which are really, really ornate.
Oh yeah.
and they were printed out in Holland by Vrydog, which we usually use for printing most of our bands and printables. It came out really, really nice, and we're really, pretty happy about that. And they actually have gone to us and asked us to do some more things. So there will be future projects with the guys from Holy Smoke. So it's really a really cool thing. And I think the website's holysmokeusa.org if people are interested in checking it out.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. The design work, Raul just held up the box. The design work is beautiful. There's something about that color, that base color on the box. I mean, it's
like that Tiffany blue.
I mean, it's like Tiffany blue, but it's almost more like it more on the green side of things. It's just got this beautiful, like soft green color to it. Those box people do tremendous work.
I even like the back side of it.
Yeah. It's got the very, very cool.
Yeah, it's all felt on the bottom. The guys from the Humid IF group does that, and they have a box factory down. They have many box factories, and I think they're even the ones that make the super high-end humidors that go for auction for at Cuba during their Habanos auction. That all those really fancy humidors that sell for millions of dollars or whatever. But they have a box factory in Nicaragua. And they're probably one of the only ones there that does a high-end piano finish. And you probably have seen a few other, I think Steve Saka's piano finish stuff is done out of there, and probably some other guys. Yeah.
I love it. And I'm going to just hold this band up again because, like you said, the design, it's so ornate.
Yeah, roll it.
And it says Bible study and then cigar club, and I mean all the way around there's no detail missed on this. It's honestly this is almost like one of those designs that you would want like in 36 by 36 hanging on your wall. It's just gorgeous, man.
Yeah, I think Dan did a hell of a job. He's our designer, and that he went over the top on that. It probably took about, I don't know, I think it probably took from start to finish a year and a half to get it designed and printed and the whole bit out in Holland.
Wow.
And not only is it a beautiful cigar, beautiful box, it's a beautiful smoke.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And I have to be honest. The only reason why you guys are smoking these right now is because I'm getting another box.
It's a nice cigar.
We see how it is. There's ulterior motives with Raul all the time.
It's a nice cigar, and it goes nicely with this whatever this scotch might be, but it goes really nicely with it.
My money spends everywhere, bro.
Yeah, that's our first cigar that we've ever done that was a figurado, and much less a box press figurado.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of concern about this, particularly from my end of it, about making something that's a box press figurado. It's just, I tend to believe that figurados oftentimes I find they're difficult to burn. They have a tendency to go a little wonky on the burn sometimes, and so that makes me nervous. And then box pressing something that's kind of a complicated shape, you introduce the factors of are the wrappers going to be able to hold up to that sort of mold? But so far, we've had a lot of good feedback about that cigar, and that's been pleasant. And the blend's not overly strong on purpose. The blend's really approachable, I think, because a lot of people that go to these cigar clubs, they're not daily cigar smokers.
Right.
So in our mind, it was like, well, if we're going to make something that's approachable to everyone in the group, then we probably shouldn't blow their heads off with nicotine.
Yeah.
We do want them to come back to those groups and whatnot. So it was purposely blended to be, more on the medium side of it in terms of strength. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way that whole cigar came out. It came out really nice, I think.
Oh yeah. One other kind of thing that was just sort of brought to light recently, another sort of exclusive that you've got a Corona Gorda size of the Desvalido for is it BL Luxuries? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So BL Luxuries is online website, and they're based out of Harrisburg, PA. And we actually did a Desvalido in our Corona Gorda size for them a couple years ago, and we had the opportunity to do the Diesla in the Corona Gorda. And they're really great guys. Nick, James, all the guys there are just they're retailers that we like doing business with. And we don't make Corona Gordas in some of our blends just because sales wise they're kind of tough, and for us sales wise. But it's odd that every like special project wants a small ring gauge, which kind of blows me away, because I always think, well, are we going to make a special project that's 50 gauge and higher, or something that we sell a lot more of, and all of the special projects kind of come in the form of Corona Gorda. And so we made these probably a year and a half ago. They've been sitting for a while, namely because we wanted to get them in, and we wanted to let them sit for a while and get completely to where they need to be. And we put them in a really nice 5-count slide top box this time. I thought it came out really great. It's just such a nice little format, and I like smoking them myself. Smoke time is kind of where I need to be. It's not as thin as, like, say, a Lancero, where I feel like I'm constantly having to light a Lancero or relight a Lancero. So I was really happy that they took something that I like in a gauge that I kind of like smoking every once in a while, and we're able to bring it to market. So yeah, BL Luxuries. They're I think it's blluxuries.com. Okay. And there's a limited amount of them. We didn't make a whole lot. I make a certain amount of cigars that I like to smoke for myself, and it's just kind of part of that. And they really like those sizes, and so we made a little bit extra on one of our runs, and they came out really good. And I'm happy that they're able to sell those, and hopefully people love them.
Nice. Yeah. And I like the fact that it's in, because usually if it's a smaller pack, like if it's a 5-pack or a 10-pack, a lot of times, companies will, do the paper bundle, which I don't necessarily have a problem with paper bundles in general, but it is nice for some projects to just go a step further and, put it in a wood, slide top box like you did with this.
Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, we did the first set with paper bundles, and while I like a craft bundle, and while I do like that look, I also think it's kind of been played a little bit too much. Like the craft paper bundle thing went a little bit too nutty. Yeah. And nominally, cost wise, I think it's worth the amount of money. And I just like that idea of getting a box and having that. It's something you can give as a gift. It's something that if you give out as a special kind of thing to, like buy this, get this, you feel like you've got something of value, it's maybe not as wasteful as a coffin, but I also like coffins too. Like I think that, when you get a cigar in a coffin, there's just something about that.
Definitely.
I think it also suits Dapper cigars. Having it that way, it looks classy, stylish.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it does. I don't know if it makes sense. I mean, I get why people do craft bundles. People do craft bundles. It's a very economical way to do things.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're also selling kind of luxury products per se. So the little bit more of effort, I think, is worth it. And it's probably something we'll stick to. We'll keep doing that path instead of going with the bundle idea, especially for special editions. We've got some new ones coming out that I think are really cool too. In the next 2 months, we got 2 different projects that started kind of about the same time right after. So I think people would be really happy with the ones coming out.
Well, don't leave a cliffhanger.
I imagine we'll find out at the PCA trade show, maybe.
Or will they be?
No, not at the PCA trade show.
No, one of them's going to be probably end of this month, and then the next one is right after that.
Okay.
So
So
one of them for
before
sure
PCA.
one of them, I think the launch date is in the beginning of March.
Is that going to be?
And
Is that going to be a
go ahead.
store exclusive? Or
Yes, they are both going to be store exclusives.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, but they both have online presences, so you'll be able to get them both through online avenues. But yeah, they're kind of back to back, and they're two totally different things. But yeah, they're really cool. They're both actually really cool. Like all of them, I think are really cool little things, and I think people would be happy with them.
I like it. You were talking a minute ago about cigar sizes, and I'm curious because everybody's got a different process, and also everybody's got different preferences. So, for you, just when you're in, having cigars for enjoyment, what's your favorite size cigar to smoke? And then when you're going through test blends and you have test blends sent to you, what size do you like to have a test blend made in? And are they the same?
Yeah, it used to be 50. So I used to like doing 50 ring gauges, usually a 5x50. Things have changed. So some of our new releases that we're doing, we're trying to get a little bit bigger in the gauges. So my new test blend size has been 52.
Okay.
5x52. And it's just because some of these newer blends that are coming out and newer projects are for us are in the bigger gauge side of things. However, personally, I like smoking something smaller format and less time to smoke. So I'm generally not smoking a Toro because generally if I'm smoking something, I don't have that hour plus to sit and really smoke that cigar. So I'm generally smoking something, 5 inches, 4 3/4, in that range. For these smaller gauge projects, we just make the test blends exactly the gauges that we want to smoke them, and we work those specifically at exactly what they want to smoke because I want to make sure that it tastes right at that gauge. But yeah, I personally like something that's a shorter format that's in the Robusto length and somewhere in the anywhere from 48 to 52. I'm really happy, but it used to be that we would blend on 50. And now with the newer stuff, we're blending it on 52 because the newer sizes are going much higher. So we're starting at lower and then going much higher. Yeah. I'm
with David here.
Oh, David says the world needs more Lonsdales. I think there's plenty of Lonsdales out there. But
the world needs to buy more Lonsdales.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Lonsdales and Lanceros. I mean, for us cigar nerds, we love Lonsdales, Lanceros, Corona Gordas, but I agree with Ian. They really don't tend to ring the register as much. The vast majority of people out there buying, spending money on cigars are spending money on, 50, 52s, 54s.
And now the new 60s. A lot of guys are smoking 60s.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's a size that there's whole sections of the company or country that are large gauges that we miss out on because we don't make cigars in those bigger gauges.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I mean, it's like, just because I personally don't maybe smoke those gauges, why would we miss out on business that we could have to turn people under our cigars just because I don't want to make a 58 or 60. Like that's crazy. So, from a sales perspective, from our company perspective, small gauges are rough. They're really tough. And the volume of business starts at around the Toro. And it kind of bubbles down to Robusto, but Toro is like the king of our sales.
Yeah.
Can't sell a Churchill to save your life. Can't, even if some of the cigars I think are really great in Churchill. Some of the blends we have, especially the Siempres, are amazing in the Churchills. People just don't want them. Same with the Bellicosos. Bellicosos are really hard for us to sell now. I don't know why. They're just really hard for us to sell. I think our Bellicosos are great.
Yeah.
But they're just harder to sell sometimes. Yeah.
Going back to exclusives for shops, what's the number there? Do they have to order 500, 1,000? What's usually the number for
50,000? No, I'm just joking. This is published, right?
Oh yeah, it's live. Everybody, it's out there now.
50,000. No, you know, honestly, it comes down to the way that I look at it is it comes down to the customer. Like we only want to make cigars for them that we have a good customer relationship with, and we'll start there. And if the retailer is somebody that we've done a lot of business with, they've supported our brand, which means a lot to us. Then what we'll do is, as kind of a thank you, is to do custom blends and custom sizes based on what they'd like. And so I don't really focus on the minimums because I work with the minimums depending on the size. If I treated it like a factory and said, hey, you got to give us, 10,000 cigars or something, and it's a, Lonsdale, I mean, how many shops are going to sell 10,000 Lonsdales or 10,000 Lanceros? It's, maybe a few will, but most of these, most of our customers are not big shops. They're family owned businesses that have strong retail presences in a certain area. They may have online business to supplement that, but we're not selling to the JRs of the world yet in the sense of doing custom blends. So
yeah,
the minimums aren't we're not going to stick people to very high minimums like that.
Have you made a Lancero yet?
Okay.
No.
I didn't think so. Well, I'm pretty familiar with your brand, and I didn't think so. And
I'm curious, like, so for instance, and I'm sure Ian, you're familiar with Stogie's World Class in Houston. They're kind of known for their like exclusive Lancero collection. So if it ever came to pass that you guys got connected and actually worked out the possibility of doing a special blend of special one of your cigars in one of your blends in a Lancero through them, yep, would you go for it?
Yeah, when Jorge calls, you have to answer.
Yeah, I've not met Jorge. I've also heard of them. I hear they're a really large retailer in Houston and the whole bit. And I mean, that's great. I mean, for us, we really look at the retailer relationship.
Yeah.
Like we want to, it just takes a lot of work and effort and time. And some of these new projects, we even have very custom printables done. Okay. So there's expense. So for us, it's like, is it something that we want to do for a retailer that's also helping us in the sense they're putting our brand forward. They're trying their best to sell their customers onto some of our cigars. If that's the case, then yeah, we love doing those kind of private projects. But if it's just a person that reaches out to us and says, hey, I want to do a Lancero with you guys, and we've never done any business, and they're not really helping our brand in any way, we might just be like, well, maybe down the road or something. But I think we always start every brand that we've done that's a custom blend for somebody generally has started because of the retailer relationship with that person. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go to Dax's.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. So Dax says, how many different Dapper blends are out there currently, and are you where you want to be today?
I don't know how many blends we have. We make some private label projects for people that we don't advertise, but we might have, just off the top of my head, individual different brands that we make, probably about 20. And then the blends are obviously different for every size in Vitola. So there's adjustments in the blends, especially for the small gauge stuff. And then are we where we want to be? Of course not. No, I mean, I feel like we're scratching the surface on retailer sales. We still have a long battle to just get the entire country covered in sales representation. I mean, I've been in the business now 10 years. This is our 10th anniversary as a business, and we still probably only have 50% of the country covered with sales representatives. So, yeah.
So this being your 10th year, are we going to see a 10th anniversary out of you?
Maybe.
So I don't know.
I'm going to take that as he's got something.
I'm going to take that as a maybe.
So what he's really saying is.
So I want to take this opportunity to also thank you, Ian. The guys at the fire department.
Yeah.
Ian donated 4 bundles to us.
Oh man.
So
that's awesome.
I did.
Nice.
I did.
What?
It's
When did
your,
this happen?
The hell I did, he said.
it's his dad's
Calling
brand.
Alex.
It's Major Mike. It was Major.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
And when we have the opportunity,
enjoyed
if it's a nice day, we go outside and smoke during runs.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for that. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great, man. I'm happy that they found a good home.
Well, and I like the fact that, because, kind of going back to Dax's question about different blends and, that kind of thing. I like the fact that you have really, it feels like every year that you've had something new come out, in these 10 years, that you guys have really put thought and deliberate action into it, as far as turning the portfolio into something gradually that has something for different palates, different experience levels of smoker and things like that. Because if some brands have sort of a style that they fit comfortably into from a blending perspective, and their cigars don't necessarily taste the same, but they taste so similar, and they land in similar strength and flavor profiles, where you have really put the effort into diversifying that portfolio of cigars that you have, that somebody who's new to cigars can grab the right Dapper. One that comes to mind for me personally, like, I've recommended the Kubo Sumatra to so many that it's like, that's for me the Robusto in that cigar. For somebody who's inexperienced as a cigar smoker, I just feel like that cigar can really kind of put them on a good path. And you guys have done that, where you have, I feel like you've got something for everybody, and it's even continuing to expand. So was that sort of from the beginning how you wanted to approach things, and sort of add on new pieces for the different palette levels and things like that?
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, and that's also kind of a segue to, are we where we want to be? Of course not. We only still make products that appeal to certain sets of folks. We don't make, for instance, we haven't done everything that we could for our affordable Major Mike's lines. We still need to expand that. We still got work to do there. We haven't made cigars that appeal to larger gauge smokers. That's a huge percentage of the cigar smoking group. We don't make super exclusive premium cigars, and I'm not talking about, quality and all of those aspects, because I feel like we make great quality for everything that we make, but we don't make high-end cigars that would appeal for those special occasions. We should have that. And to be fair, even though we use a lot of tobacco from all over the world and we blend all those elements, we don't have a lot of flavor profiles that you typically see out of some of the other countries, whether it's DR or whether it's Honduras. So we're not making cigars that cover the entire range of smokers. And, whenever I go on the road and I meet customers on the road, it always is surprising just how broad the range of smokers there are. I remember doing an event a year ago at a country club, and I was told, hey, these guys are, they're medium-bodied kind of smokers. And I felt like, okay, well, we make a lot of cigars, I think, that are in that medium strength label, strength category, medium body category. And these guys were all smokers that had been smoking like Macanudos for 30 years.
Yeah.
And everything that I gave them was too strong, like everything. And I thought that we had a lot of cigars that were not in that too strengthy category. But it's nice to kind of connect with customers out there and go, hey, you're not covering everything yet. You don't have all of the different categories of cigars. So I'll feel like we'll be in a better spot to where I want to be once we get all of those various categories of cigars, price points, formats, categories, all that. And we have products that we can sell to customers at every one of those categories and every one of those breakouts, and have the products in stock and sell those. That's another part about the cigar business that people don't want to talk about, is it's very difficult to maintain a consistent inventory level when you're selling to retailers. It's very costly. It's probably, I think, one of the hardest things as cigar companies is, can you consistently manufacture products of a high quality and have them in stock and have them ready to ship? It's very difficult in the cigar business.
Yeah, shipping, distribution, all that. There's so much that, as starting this podcast and getting to know more people in the cigar business, only basically wearing a consumer hat for 20 plus years, and then all of a sudden starting to hear some of the stories about what really happens behind the scenes in the cigar business. And shipping and distribution is like, that is not an easy part of the gig. It's work, and it's expensive too. Sometimes people, why does this cigar cost, $16? Well, take the boxes of cigars and put them in crates and put them on a ship, and tell me how much you think they should cost after you see the bill. Yeah, come back to me and complain about the price now.
Yeah, and you have to have a good pipeline set up. How many times you go to a cigar store, you buy something, and you say, "Oh man, I really like that cigar," and then they call the company and go, "Yeah, we don't have that. They're not going to have that for 4 months or 6 months."
Yeah.
And then you kind of, in essence, lose that consumer a little bit. Oddly enough, though, I think that you can use that to work for yourself in the cigar business. There's a lot of like manufactured demand. So, if you basically purposely, limit something, or purposely, tell them, hey, we don't have that, it's limited or whatever, then there's a consumer perception as well that, oh my God, it must be, harder to get or rare or whatever. So I guess it works either way. My philosophy and my train of thought is more on the traditional, hey, if you make a good product, it resonates with consumers, make sure you got enough of that product so you can keep selling that product. And that's difficult to do. It's very cash intensive in the cigar business, and you got to make sure your factories are on board with that whole line of thought as well.
Yeah. Are there any, because we've heard from some people different levels of stories over the last year or so about different tobacco varietals from their factories. There's certain tobacco varietals, especially wrapper grade, that they need to keep their production up to the levels that they need it to be. Have you had run into any of those issues in the last 18 months or so with struggling to get the right tobaccos for wrapper or even binder and filler?
No.
Good. Nice.
We haven't, because we aligned ourselves with people that grow tobacco.
That's good.
So, the Oliva tobacco family, and they're a household name when it comes to manufacturing and making of cigars. And many of the premium cigars you see today use their wrappers particularly. But we fortunately not had that problem. I think that problem also comes with a lot of scale. So obviously, if you're selling millions and millions of cigars a year, you're probably going to come into those sorts of situations more. For us, thank God, we're in relationship with Oliva, and they've been extremely consistent and extremely good, and so some of those problems we've not had to experience. But I can see too, depending on your situation, depending on where you're at in the world, if you're in the DR, your problems are going to be there, a little different there. Or if you're in a smaller factory, and wherever, Honduras or whatever, you're going to have different access to different material, and it's very difficult for everyone in that case. For us, that hasn't been an issue. Everything else, there's always issues in cigar business. I can't imagine the cigar business without some sort of calamity going forth, whether it's COVID or this or that, or broadleaf or whatever.
FDA.
FDA. It's like, if there's no issues, like, this whole business they wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
So which is Twofold question. What is your best-selling cigar, and what is your favorite cigar out of your portfolio to smoke?
Good questions.
My best-selling cigar is La Madrina Shade.
Okay.
So that cigar far and away sells out everything, and it's not even close. La Madrina Shade is our best-selling. Our second best-selling line is probably the El Borracho line. My favorite cigar to smoke, it just depends on the brand. I smoke a lot of La Madrina Shade, just as kind of my like morning kind of cigar thing. I like to smoke a little bit of everything. Yeah, and that's the Habano version. So the shade version is the one with the white label.
Habano. It is Habano.
Yeah.
My bad.
So that's our best. That's okay. So that line, La Madrina, outsells everything, period. The Shade is the best selling of the two. And then second is El Borracho.
Which is my favorite.
Yeah. So, I mean, I smoke like in the El Borracho San Andreas. I like the Bellicosa right now. I think it smokes the best. It's 52 gauge, 6 1/4 by 52. It's just something works about that size and that format. So that is my favorite in the El Borracho series right now. The La Madrina I smoke in the Robusto size. I kind of like the Bellicosa the best in that one, but format wise, Robusto. In the Desvalito, I smoke like the smaller gauges, so I'll smoke the Lonsdale or the Corona Gordo if I have any left, which I don't think I have any left. And then in the Diesla, I like the smaller gauges as well. In the Siempres, I actually like the Churchills the best.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, in both the Sungrown and the Rosado, I think the Churchills are by far and away the best smoking of those different gauges. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on, every cigar. But I smoke a lot of La Madrina Shade, and I smoke a lot of Desvalito.
Yeah, those the La Madrina Shade. There, I mean, that's to me, and it's funny because you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a great morning cigar," and I don't disagree with that. I think in the morning with coffee, great choice. But I approach that cigar personally as a dessert cigar, and it's not saying that it's a sweet cigar because it's not, but it's a cigar for me that works really well after a meal, which is strange because a lot of times people say, "Oh, you should save your post-meal cigar it should be a heavier, stronger cigar." I tend to go more milder, lighter cigars lately, just mixing up the waters, just trying to test out new things.
For me, it all depends on how many I'm smoking a day.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I like the La Madrina in the morning too. But I can smoke 3 or 4 El Borrachos a day. I really love that stick. That stick it hits me. It's probably one of my favorite sticks, and out of all cigars.
I mean, I've seen this guy smoke back-to-back El Borrachos before.
So if you're
does it have hints of vanilla?
Hints of
does it have hints of vanilla?
Yeah.
Madagascar vanilla.
Madagascar. What's this? I miss her. That's I don't know if I ever told you the story.
You did.
All right.
You did. No, but you can't do that and not tell the viewers.
So allegedly,
yeah.
After PCA last year, Ian was nice enough to invite me out to dinner.
Yeah.
So we went out to dinner, and I met him at the bar, and it first started. I ordered a ginger ale, and he's like, "You don't drink?" I go, "No." He goes, "You can come with me anytime." If that's all you're drinking, you can hang out with us anytime. So we finally get a table. It wasn't the best table. That's another story. The waitress had a vanilla scent on her, and I brought it up to her maybe once or twice. And then that started a whole downward spiral. We just saw a downward spiral, or upward spiral. We started talking about vanilla scents and this and that, and these guys busted my balls for a little bit, but it was fun. kind of sums it up, huh?
That's actually so. Ian, I don't know if you remember this. When I interviewed you at the PCA trade show last year, that's how I started the interview. I said, I just have one word for you, Ian, and that is vanilla. And it was wonderful because it was literally, that was our last interview of the PCA trade show. And it was just great to go out, just being irreverent and having fun. And, you know, it was a great time. And I'm sorry that I missed the vanilla waitress. I'm really sorry about that.
Raul's got he's got a thing for vanilla. He's a true vanilla aficionado.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But thank God you. I was getting very nervous. I thought you were going to go into the rest of the conversation at dinner. I was like, no, don't do that. Do not do that.
No, this is PG-ish.
PG-ish.
We don't know if his wife's watching. You know,
she is. She is.
It got heavy into. It got heavy.
Well, speaking of heavy, I think it might be time.
Is it time?
I think it is.
We can do it.
All right. It is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn.
My goodness, do I want some egg rolls?
Just out of
yes, KVF egg rolls, man.
Oh, they're so good. Oh.
Just out of curiosity, was that specific? Was the half Asian guest? You got to throw in the Year of the Dragon.
That was just for you.
Just for you, bud.
Do you have a Year of the Dragon cigar coming out?
Actually, that is the one thing we're not doing. We're not doing the Year of the Dragon cigar. We're the only ones.
Too many lawsuits. Everybody's getting sued for making a Year of the Dragon
Dirk
cigar.
Has got that one.
Yeah, everybody's getting sued for that. Yeah. So yeah, it's not worth the hassle. All right, so this week's Numero de los Muertos is another really weird one, and it's once again. Well, actually, I lied. The number is 2.
2.
So this
week we moved one up this week. I'm proud of you. We're making moves.
That's right.
Is this real life?
The number is 2.
Real life.
This is real life.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not fiction. This actually happened. And yeah, the number is 2. So Ian, if you remember Numero de los Muertos, I give a number, and you and our viewers live on Facebook and YouTube can leave guesses and play 20 questions trying to guess how these 2 people died.
Were they together?
They were together.
Ooh. A male and female?
No. Both male.
What do you want, Ro? You want that?
Yeah, zoom that in there. Can I get that one? Come on.
Maybe. I don't.
You got to pull back a little bit. It doesn't zoom that close.
I don't pull.
A little more. There we go.
There we go.
Look how beautiful that band is.
It's just so beautiful.
All right. Sorry, I had to do that. I had to. Right.
No worries.
Was a vehicle involved?
No vehicles were involved.
Animals.
David, no, not human centipede. That's you have to have more than 2 to make a centipede.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I mean,
did they die? Did they die together?
They did die together.
Oh, okay.
And was it male and female?
2 males.
2 males. Okay. Beer bongs.
No beer bongs.
Was a vehicle involved? Did we say that?
No vehicle.
Okay.
Was anything sexual involved again?
First of all, get your mind out of the gutter, and second of all, no.
Well, last week you're eating penises, So
that's last week was
a little dark.
Yeah, last week was
The picture he sent you.
pretty messed up. Be glad that you missed last week's, Ian. It was pretty messed up.
Yeah, we're not going there. Was sex involved?
No.
Okay. What's going on, Chris?
Oh, hey, Chris Moore.
How you doing,
Carolina Blue.
More? Was this on land?
Yes, it was on land.
Workplace accident?
Not a workplace accident.
Is this an entertainment activity?
No.
Was it a double suicide?
It was not a double suicide.
Okay.
Work? You're
not work.
Was falling involved?
Falling was not involved.
Drank too much Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid was not involved, to my knowledge.
Poisoning of some.
No poisoning.
Listening to too much Taylor Swift.
No,
No Swifties were hurt.
Listening to Taylor Swift just gives you energy and vivaciousness and
struck by lightning.
not lightning.
No.
A vanilla overdose.
Oh.
There's no such thing, brother. There's no such thing.
Firearms involved.
Firearms were not involved. It was not an animal attack. Animals were not involved.
Any drugs?
No drugs that I'm aware of.
Are we in like the 60s, 70s?
1940s.
40s.
The 1940s.
Okay.
Any guess there, Ian?
Was Pfizer involved?
I don't know if Pfizer was a thing back in 47.
Were they on a weird island?
No, this happened in
With children?
in the home.
Were they struck by something?
They were part of, yes, struck by something is sort of part of the overlying structure of this. Yes.
But not electrocution.
No electrocution. No.
Were they cooking meth and a building blew up and fell
In
on
the
them?
40s?
No.
In the 40s, huh?
Were people making meth in the 40s?
I don't know.
Yes.
Were they?
Yes, the Germans made
Okay.
meth in World War
Oh, the
Oh,
German.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Hitler did
Yeah,
meth.
sure. Yeah.
I
I don't know if it
forgot
was
about
meth
that.
back then, but
Yeah, this is
something.
unrelated to the World War.
That was the OG meth.
Yeah.
Fire.
Fire's not involved.
Tornado and impelled.
No.
Jesus, how you doing, Jesus?
Did a cabinet fall on?
It wasn't a cabinet.
Or was it in the
It was
kitchen?
not a roof collapse, Kelly. That's a good one too. Not a roof collapse. It
So-
wasn't a cabinet. There were
some kind of furniture that fell.
there were items that fell on.
a light fixture.
Not a light fixture.
Okay.
Good guess though.
Wow.
Could
Was
have
it
been
an
like a
earth-
chandelier.
Was it from an earthquake or something?
Not from an earthquake. No.
Buried alive in a tunnel.
All right. So hold up. Dax buried alive in a tunnel. Sort of. That's
Were they in the cellar?
no. Well, it doesn't say which part of the home they were in, but I don't believe it was the cellar.
So we're
But
not buried alive in a tunnel, not a fridge.
not a fridge. We did fridge way back early. And how about that cigar?
Bookcase.
It wasn't a bookcase. Oh, all right. So
Buried
the
alive in a
tunnel thing, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Dax.
Okay.
So in 1947, two compulsive hoarders, Homer and Langley Collier, set up booby traps to protect their stuff from intruders. One unfortunate day in 1947, as Langley was crawling through a tunnel of garbage in the house, he set off one of those booby traps, and Langley was crushed under tons of garbage, and his paralyzed brother starved because he was unable to feed himself.
Wow.
So, meth or mushrooms or some kind of drugs were involved.
Possibly.
Well, they were hoarding, so
Yeah. So, I mean, just keep your living space tidy. It's safer that way. Right?
Yes. Not a fire hazard.
Yeah, fire. Yeah, don't talk fire hazards with the firefighter here. That's not good. You got to keep your living space tidy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
It helps.
You got to have clear, means of exit,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So keep your place tidy, people. That's what it's all about. So that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, and before we get to the lightning round, let's reveal the spirit of mystery for this week. So this is it's a nice Scotch. It's mild. It's a very mild Scotch, but it's nice. Definitely got a ton of that citrusy, bright, forward kind of flavor and aroma to it. It is, but yeah, it's mild. This is a Scotch that even inexperienced Scotch drinker, I think, could, if they're into drinking spirits neat, but they say they're not a Scotch person, I think they could enjoy this. So
it is Dalwhinnie, 15-year-old Highland single malt Scottish whiskey.
Nice.
You ever heard of them before?
15-year. No, I have.
Okay.
I have 15-year.
Yeah. And this was donated by a secret friend. And I think this is a monthly subscription he gets.
Oh, okay.
He was nice and
very nice. Well, thank you to our benefactor for donating this week's Spirit of Mystery, brought to us by Postania Cigars.
Postania.
All right, let's jump into the lightning round, brought to us by J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and The American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 113-year-old El Reloj cigar factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right, Ian, you have been on the show before, so you've had some of these lightning round questions, but we have some fresh ones for you. So let's start with this. If you could bring back any fashion trend from the past, what would it be?
Oh, we lost his audio.
Oh, are you
Can't
muted?
hear you, brother.
Are you muted? Maybe? Not muted? I can't hear you. That's why you weren't giving guesses during Numero de los Muertos. I couldn't, or you were just horrified by the concept of it and chose to remain silent. Yeah, I don't know why we can't hear you.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I can hear you now.
Sorry, my AirPods died.
Oh, no worries. It's all good. We're all fixed. So, yeah, if you could bring back a fashion trend from the past, what would it be?
I would say the large afros with the pick in them.
Oh, yeah. There are not many who still rock that look. I mean, we got
awesome look.
Questlove, Ludacris was rocking the big afro last night in the halftime show. Yeah, there's not a lot of people who still rock that look.
It's a great look.
I love it. All right.
I've switched to El Borracho.
Well, it's your first love. Yeah. All right, Ian, if you were suddenly a billionaire, what would be the first unnecessary thing you would spend some money on?
Wouldn't be a cigar company.
Good call.
I'm not the dude from El Septimo.
Oh, I love it.
So it was, what would be the first thing I would spend my money on?
So the first, I mean, after you paid off the house and paid all your taxes and all that, what would be the first like frivolous, unnecessary, fun thing you would spend money on?
Yeah. So after I was a billionaire and then they took half of it and I was no longer a billionaire.
Yes.
And I would spend
when you were a 500 millionaire.
When I was a 500 millionaire, I would that's a good one. I would probably go with super gaudy watch, like one of those just stupid, Rolex Platinum Daytona.
Yeah.
Something very gaudy. I think I'd do that. Yeah.
Like diamond crusted in the whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Just super gaudy, like rapper watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd probably do that.
I love it.
I like Corey Johns. Going back to the first question, I love that idea.
Full suits for everyday wear.
He's got a suit in this picture.
I gotta.
I love that.
If I'm gonna rock a suit every day, I feel like I need to be more fit to rock a suit every day properly.
That's the whole thing. If you're gonna wear suits every day, you get them tailored to make you look buff and tough.
But I wouldn't want to spend
rocking an afro puff.
I wouldn't want to spend $4,000 on a suit and then like lose 50 pounds and have to spend another $4,000 on another suit because I'm now as fit as I want to be. You know what I mean?
That's kind of like the Bible. You don't have to get your shit all cleaned up to go to the Bible and go to God, right?
Oh, I guess.
You just wear the suit, and when you lose weight, you buy another suit.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're getting off track. Sorry, Ian.
Looks like Mitchell's going to be wearing a suit. Are you going to, Raul?
I'd love to.
Every evening
I'm gonna
at
bring
PCA?
one. I'm gonna bring one at least.
I mean, I'll be wearing a jacket because it's going to be, 50 degrees. It's.
Oh, we might be wearing our new. How about that cigar gear?
We just may.
Soon to be on our website.
Hit them with the fast food question.
So, Ian.
Oh no.
What is the most overrated and underrated fast food out there?
Overrated, I would say Taco Bell. I don't know why people.
Okay.
Taco Bell, that's pretty overrated. Most underrated. I don't eat a lot of fast food, so I'm not the guy to be asking. But underrated, God, I'm gonna have to go with the egg rolls from Jack in the Box. I know it's very on theme for tonight. Those egg rolls are money. I don't know what they do with them, but they're money. Yeah.
I have never eaten at a Jack in the Box in my whole life.
What?
I don't think I have either.
No, never
you guys
have.
are from Minnesota, though.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they have in Texas. That's
any place that I've lived did not have Jack in the Box.
Okay.
In Indiana, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, it's the three places I've lived, and they didn't have Jack in the Box.
And
we
Ian,
call it crack in the box.
Ian, you saying Taco Bell? We've had a couple guys that said that's the underrated.
Yeah.
So that's
interesting. That's a heavy statement. That's a heavy. I don't think it's actually meat. I think it's like wood chips or something, right?
I think there's some meat. I'd say like the what they call the ground beef product in a Taco Bell taco is probably 30%. It's meat.
It's kind of like what the astronauts eat when they're in space.
Yeah, it's freeze dried.
It's tube meat.
You just rehydrate it with a dropper of water and just call it good.
Yeah.
It's not good. I would highly steer against that.
I don't know. I think you had the zombie question. So let me do this then. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, and you cannot say money, time, or cigars, but you could have an unlimited supply for some other thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
This is a kid-centric show, right?
No, this is a grown-up show.
Let it all out in. Just let
I was going to give a total rapper answer. But, unlimited supply.
Oh, I know the answer. Never mind. I know the answer you were going to get.
Street bitches.
I would say Coke. No.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Coca-Cola.
David Floyd got you right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
They go hand to hand, don't they?
That's what they say. I mean, Vegas is coming up. You tell.
Vanilla waitresses.
Yeah.
Unlimited supply of vanilla waitresses.
I would go with. I'd love to have an unlimited supply of ribeye steaks.
Ooh.
I really like ribeyes. I'm a big ribeye guy, so that's where I would go, and I think it's fairly healthy. So,
yeah.
All right.
Or French vanilla hand lotion.
There you go. You can never run out of that.
So sometime for release in the year 2025 or 2026, got to give time for production and, to have the design work done and all this. A new cigar from Dapper Cigar Company called Vanilla Waitress.
Yes.
Ooh. I like that.
So,
honey, I'll explain everything when I get home tonight. Don't worry.
I like that.
Just
I can smell it now. Can you smell it, Raul? I can smell it now.
Remember, I even got the name of that perfume I was going to buy for my wife, and then I freaking forgot it.
You forgot the name of the
perfume?
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't tell you.
That's how intoxified he was by the aroma.
Yes. Yeah. He's still off in Neverland, just thinking about it.
She kept leaning over too. She had to go across the table every time to get.
Oh, please. She's a server. She works for tips. You think she's not doing that on purpose?
Well, I wasn't paying the bills. I was just eating it up.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's jump into this week's Notable Smokable. Notable Smokables are brought to us by Don Doroteo Cigars, a brand with both purpose and passion, dedicated to creating change from within. By developing their own land, they're able to own the entire process throughout the life cycle of the plant. They methodically carry out each step, ensuring that the final product is of the finest quality. The new Salt of the Earth lines, Piedra Viva and Piedra Angular, are available now at Don Doroteo retail partners. Visit dondoroteo.com to learn more. So, Ian, if you remember, every week we name a cigar on the show that we smoked recently that was notable to us. Now, this could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that we just smoked again for the first time in a very long time, or it could be a cigar that's newer to the market that we smoked for the first time ever. Now, we know that, Ian, you're mostly smoking your own stuff, but if you get a chance every once in a while to jump outside of your own portfolio, is there something you smoked recently that was notable to you?
Good question. I think there's probably a lot of them that I've tried that people give me. I'm just trying to remember some of the names.
Yeah.
Very notable. That's kind of hard. No, I mean, there's a lot of cigars that I smoked that recently were really good. I had an Aganorsa. I cannot remember the name of what Aganorsa it was. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
One from the gentleman from Blackbird gave me a cigar that was a Connecticut shade cigar, and it was really good. I thought it was very nice. God, I just wish I was better with the names, and I hadn't had 3 vodka sodas. But yeah, I mean,
so it's a light night for him.
Yeah.
It's tricky, especially like when you're at trade shows, because you run into people or somebody stops by your booth and hands you a couple cigars, and and maybe when you get home you smoke one of them, but you're too busy to sit like we do. We sit and take notes on the cigars and take pictures of the band and stuff, but you just smoke it and say to yourself, hey, that was good, or hey, that wasn't really for me, or whatever. But I'm sure that happens a lot, especially at the trade shows.
I do remember last trade show, I was driving back from Vegas, and Nick at Foundation gave me a sampler pack of all of his new cigars, and I really liked his Connecticut one. It was that Charter Oak Pasquale or something.
Pasquale, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really, really good cigar, and I really liked his Sumatra one too. His Sumatra one. I can't remember the name of it, but I do remember liking those cigars a lot. There's a lot of great cigars out there. I mean, I try to smoke cigars as broadly as possible. If I'm on the road, I'll try to buy cigars from retailers that I haven't smoked before.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great cigars out there. And I just wish I remembered all of the names of them. Kind of got me on that.
No, there's a lot to keep track of these days.
Dax would like to order 2 boxes, pre-order 2 boxes of Vanilla Waitresses already.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, Raul, and be careful with this answer. What size are we making these in? And Ordo may not be an acceptable answer.
I mean, we might have to go big green gauge on this one, but
no.
Okay,
never.
Okay.
Raul won't smoke it.
He's going Lancero.
It's going to be a Corona Gorda.
Gorda? Okay.
5 5/8 by 46.
We can do that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's one of my favorite.
This is going to be a How About That Cigar exclusive?
I don't know. We'll have to sit down and have a meeting with Ian at the PCA. And
I used to love smoking Lanceros, but like you said, they're a pain in the neck sometimes.
Yeah.
But that Corona Gorda style has really been hitting lately.
I mean, Kelly Conway says a Monica Lewinsky size.
No. That's a 60 gauge.
I have no comment. I have no comment.
What was your notable, Raul?
Yeah, well, let's.
Well, I actually took about a month or 2 months off of smoking El Borracho because my supply is getting low. This damn can. There we go. So this is my notable smokable.
El Borracho?
Yeah.
The one you're smoking now? I
The
like
one I
that.
smoked yesterday, no one I smoked today.
I know, right? I know. Justin, what was your notable this week?
This week I'm going with the Alec Bradley post-embargo blend code B15.
B15.
Or 815. Yeah, no, that's a B.
That's a B.
Maybe it's a B, is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Post-embargo blend code 815, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what was yours, boss? My
notable was a cigar that was actually on our cigar of the year list. And I believe it was number 3. No, it was it was the Intemperance Volstead VO 1920 Izzy Einstein, the little petite Corona.
That's a good size too.
Yeah,
especially for Minnesota winters.
Well, and it was during halftime of the Super Bowl yesterday, and it was so great because it hasn't been that cold in Minnesota, so you could actually stand outside with some of those overhead heaters. And it was beautiful. Honestly, it was really nice out. Beautiful. It was 37 degrees. Yeah. But, for us in February, that's like a miracle.
No snow on the ground.
No snow on the ground.
I haven't used my snowblower once this year.
I know. Yeah. Spent all this time and money fixing my snowblowers, and I haven't even used them.
So snow is this white stuff that comes from the sky.
Yeah, Ian.
In case you don't know, in California.
You're in California. It comes down.
That's where I'm from, by the way.
It's hard to drive, and we have to.
Yeah,
it's a terrible thing.
I've heard of such things.
Yeah. You're not missing anything, I promise. All right, let's get to our coming attractions here. We have coming up on the show, brought to us by AJ Fernandez. Born and raised in Cuba, AJ Fernandez now produces unparalleled premium cigars in Esteli, Nicaragua. The AJ Fernandez portfolio of cigars provides blend, strength, and flavor profiles to match the preferences of any premium cigar consumer. Whether it's New World, Dias de Gloria, San Lotano, Enclave, or Bellas Artes, you're sure to be satisfied with a premium cigar from AJ Fernandez. All right, coming up on the show next week, February 19th, we have Dean Parsons from Epic Cigars. Following that, on February 26th, Greg Free from Fortaleza y Libre Cigars. And March 4th, we have Ashley from Big Ashes Cigars. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Ian, brother, thank you so much for being back on our show this evening and spending some time with us, brother.
And keep killing it on Instagram. You've been putting out some great pictures lately.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And where can we find Dapper Cigars and all those socials out there? Are you guys active on the social medias these days?
Very active.
Very active.
Yeah, Dapper Cigars on Instagram, Dapper Cigars on Facebook, probably Twitter. I don't think we post to Twitter. And dappercigars.com website.
Fantastic. Well, brother, thank you so much. And we will see you shortly at the PCA trade show.
Yeah, can't wait. We'll get to work on that vanilla waitress as well.
Love it.
Take it easy, brother.
All right, viewers and listeners, guys, thank you so much for being the best part of How About That Cigar Live. We thank you so much for spending your evening with us. It has been a great show this evening, and just want to thank all of you for being with us. Take just a moment, if you would, please, and make sure to follow us on all the social media channels at HBT Cigar, and be sure to subscribe to all those channels as well. We really do appreciate it. If you have questions for any of us, you can email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. And of course, until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
See you guys. Thanks.
any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the premium cigar industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of premium cigars.